Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about and we are going to study about accounting for inventory. Last week we studied about debtors and how to make provision for debt or receivables and how to write it or write off, and how to do the adjustment for provision for doubtful debts. And also we studied about how to do a journal entry and how to make receivable control account when we make provisions. And also we studied about when you write off debtors, how to do a double entry and how to remove it from the receivable and how to account it in profit and loss account. What are the impacts related to accounting regarding receivable, which is a balance sheet item and which has an impact in the profit and loss account also when we do a write off, okay, when we make a provision, annual provision, okay. And we studied about debtors age analysis, and we studied about how to close the receivable control account or debtors control account, any individual customers, how to make a provision, how to do a specific provision, and how to do a general provision. And we did some calculation and I gave you an example last week, okay. So I'm sure all of you have done the example. So today we are going to study about accounting for inventory. Accounting for inventory, as an accountant you have to know what is inventory, what is stock. And like when you speak to the general person, like a common person who doesn't have an accounting background, if you say stocks, he may think it's a shares which is bought from a listed company, okay. But what we are referring here is stock is inventory, okay. When a company is running a business and when there's a buying and selling business, they will have inventory, stock. That's what we are referring. So as a finance professional, you have to have an idea about what is stock market in addition to the inventory. But today's lesson is going to be accounting for inventory, okay. So I just would like to know from you, what are your experience regarding inventory. One of the things I heard from you is you have got about like how to do an inventory count, like when the auditors comes, annual inventory count, and also when there is a discrepancies or differences in the inventory count, how to do an adjustment, okay. So those are the things like I hear from you as your experience when you are working as an accountant in different organization, okay. In addition to this, as an accountant you have to know like what is the definition of inventory, what are the types of inventory, and also you have to know how to value the inventory, what are the ways of doing the valuation of inventory, and you have to know what is International Accounting Standard 2, which is explaining about how to do the inventory valuation. As per IAS 2, you have to do the inventory at lower of cost or net realizable value, and also you have to know what are the cost, what are the components, what are the like expenses related to inventory you have to consider to compute to arrive at your cost, okay. And also you have to know what are net realizable value, how to do the computation of net realizable value. And also you have to know in addition you have to know what are the related disclosure notes you have to put as per the IAS 2 requirements when you prepare the financial statements, okay. And also like you have to have an idea like what are FIFO, what are LIFO, what are AVCO, what is most appropriate inventory valuation. And also you have to know when you do a provision or like when you find the obsolete inventory, what are damaged inventory or outdated inventory, how to do the adjustment in your inventory. And also you have to know what are the double entries related to inventory and what are the areas, line items which will be affected by the inventory, like and also like you will study about today about what are the double entries when you purchase the inventory, what are the accounts you will do a double entry, like where you will debit, where you will credit, what is the effect in the profit and loss account, what is the effect when you have a closing inventory in your financial statement. And also you will study about what is the work in progress, what is the like finished good, what are the like conversion cost when you do when you are in the manufacturing industry, what are the conversion cost you will take it. In addition, you will do an examples also. And like that when in the financial statement, like when you the inventories will be mostly will have the statement of financial position as a closing inventory. And also when you buy and sell, it will have an impact on your profit and loss account in the areas of cost of sales. Okay, like I will give you a formula and how to compute the cost of sales. Like when a business is starting initially, when a business is commencing, you will not have any opening inventory, but like in the following years you will have opening inventory. So what you have to do is you have to take your opening inventory and you have to get your purchases, and from that you have to add your carriage inventory, which is whatever the cost related to bring your inventory to the company, okay, to the present location and condition, and you will deduct your closing inventory to arrive at the cost of sales. Okay. And also like when you buy, what is the double entry you will have to use? You have to debit purchases and credit cash or trade payables. Okay, so if you like buy it on a credit purchase, you have to credit payables. Okay. And when then you have to debit cost of sales and credit purchases for you to bring that expenses to the cost of sales. Okay, now let's have a look on about form of inventories. You have raw materials, you have work in progress, and you have finished goods. And also you have to know what are the cost of inventories, like for the if you are a person who is involved in the retail business, or if a businessman is involved in a retail business, then the cost of inventory will be only the purchase cost of the asset or stocks. Okay. Then if you are a manufacturing industry, then you have to have the purchase cost in addition to the conversion cost. You have to consider everything. So we will do an example related to this also for you to see what costs to be included in the inventory. Okay. As you see in the screen in the notes, you can see the purchase cost includes purchase price of materials, import duties plus transportation and handling cost less trade discount, rebates and subsidies if you have received any subsidies. Okay. And conversion cost will include cost incurred in converting the raw materials, okay, such as direct labor costs, direct expenses, other direct costs such as if you outsource or if you subcontract part of your manufacturing process, that also need to be included in the conversion cost. And also you will have attributable production overheads. Okay, some of the cost you should not include is non-manufacturing overhead and storage cost. This is subjective. You have to really analyze it, and you have to use your judgment which type of storage cost can be included and which type of storage cost you may not be able to include it. And also you should not include selling cost, and any abnormal wastage cost also you should not include. Okay. Closing inventory, what will be the double entry? The double entry will be, so closing inventory is the inventory which has been purchased but not sold. So that has to go, that is your current asset, so that has to go to statement of financial position. So this closing inventory is already in the cost of sales, so you have to remove it. So what you have to do is you have to debit inventory which will be going to your statement of financial position, and credit closing inventory. Good, thank you. So we have to know about forms of inventory. One is raw material, other one is a work in progress, another one is the next one is the finished goods. Okay, finished goods or cost of goods sold. And you have to know how the cost of inventory, what are the cost of inventory which need to be included to value the inventory. One is if it is a retail company or sole trader, it will maybe purchase cost only. For a manufacturer, it has to be production cost, which is equal to purchase cost plus conversion cost. Conversion cost can be manufacturing, the labor cost and overheads related to manufacturing overheads, carriage inward, even the during the manufacturing process you will be cost related to storing it, keeping it in the storage, even that cost will be included in the conversion cost. Okay, all those costs can be included, okay, to compute the okay. So purchase cost will include purchase price of raw material, import duties plus transport cost, okay, and you will have trade discount, rebates and subsidies also, okay. Conversion cost will include cost incurred in converting raw materials and necessarily incurred in bringing the production to its present location and condition, okay. These are not normally applicable to the retailer. These include direct labor, direct expenses, other direct costs, subcontracting. If you subcontract to outsource some of your part of your like production, then that also need to be included, okay. Attributable production overheads absorbed, okay, based on the normal capacity of the facilities, okay. Any other overheads costs attributable to bringing the product or services to its present location and condition, okay. This is a judgment again, okay. And the cost of inventory excludes non-manufacturing cost, storage cost, selling cost, abnormal wastage cost. Storage cost, you have to be careful, and use your judgment, okay. If the storage is necessary for you to do the production, like to bring the inventory to a certain condition, then storage cost will be considered into the inventory cost also, okay. That you have to be careful. I hope all of you are clear about this now. I just wanted to give you an sample question to practice. If you have anything, you can ask me. So Edward purchased some raw material inventory from a supplier at a list price of 6,000, okay. 6,000, that means list price equal to 6,000, okay. 6,000 all in USD, okay. Settlement discount of 500 on this purchase, we'll leave that, and the raw material have been converted into finished goods inventory by the process. So there is a conversion cost. So we have to know the conversion cost, okay. Conversion cost during this process, okay. The process costs 5,500. It costs 5,500. Conversion cost is 5,000. I'll put it here, 5,500. In this, like we have to know whether we can take all the price, okay. Direct labor we can take, right? Direct labor we can take how much? 3,000. That's no problem, right? 3,000. I think I will not have a space, so I will move this up. Direct labor we have to take. Then what else? And we will have direct made up of 3,000 labor and electricity. Electricity how much? 1,300. And we will have production overheads how much? You have how much? 500. How much the total? Can someone 9? It's okay. The total is 10,800. 10,800, right? Like 6,000, 9,000, 9,000, 10,300, 10,800 plus 500, okay. So as per our studies, or as we discussed before, we will not be able to take post production storage cost, because it's a post production storage cost. Okay, and we should not deduct this 500 because it's a settlement discount. This is nothing to do with cost of purchase. Okay, this is a settlement discount. Okay, so the answer is 10,800. Okay, this is the answer. Like, the finished goods will be sold for 14,000 after incurring the cost of the finished goods will be sold for 14,000 after incurring a selling cost of 10%. Okay, then what is NRV? We have to calculate the NRV also, right? NRV, what is NRV? NRV is selling price minus cost related to selling, right? To selling, how much that is? This is equal, selling price is 14,000, right? 14,000 minus, you have to incur how much? 10%, that is 1,400. Is it right? This is equal to 14,000 into 0.9, that is 12,600, right? 12,600. What is the principle of inventory? IAS2, lower of cost or net realizable value, right? As per IAS2, inventory is valued at lower of cost to net realizable value, right? What is the lower between these two? So therefore the answer is 10,800. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry to I'm not sure. I think I discussed slightly about this concept about IAS2, but you have to know the inventory is valued at lower of cost or net realizable value. So what they are telling is they are buying a product and they are converting that product into finished goods, okay, by doing some modifications and arriving at a product, and they are going to sell that. The selling price of the product is 14,000. Okay, but for you to sell that for that, you have to incur a 10% of the cost of the selling price. Maybe it could be brokering fee, it could be anything, it could be transportation, it can be anything. Okay, so here you have to see, what you have to do is you have to get the cost of the production, cost of the finished goods that we have taken here, $10,800, and we have to get then what we have to do is, since they have given us the selling price and the related cost, we have to get the net realizable value, lower of cost or net realizable value. Okay, net realizable value. Okay, net realizable value. Okay, net realizable value. So you can therefore the answer is 10,000. So we have to take the lower. So $12,600 is higher than 10,600. So what is the question? What is the value of finished goods inventory to be shown in the financial statements? So the amount we have to show it as a 10,800. Okay. So as per the IAS2, the value of the inventory is valued at lower of cost or net realizable value. So when the business is dealing with the homogeneous product, you will have an issue of identifying each and every product cost, because the inventories are moving, right? So you need to have a technique in place for you to identify, then get the cost of the inventory. Okay, that is one of the tasks as an accountant you have to know about it. Okay, so I will revise the question again. Okay, Alpha company preparing its financial statement for the current year. Its closing inventory was understated by $180,000. What will be the impact of this error on the financial statement if the error is not corrected? Okay, so they have given 4 answers. So for those 4 answers, what I have done for you to understand, okay, for you to understand, I have taken some example. Okay, scenario A and scenario B. So I have taken a random sales which is 1500, and I have prepared a cost of sales. Okay, I have prepared a cost of sales. Let me put this as cost of sales, COS, cost of sales. And we have like random figure of purchases 1000, opening inventory 500, closing inventory, actual closing inventory has to be 360. Instead, like as per our scenario, we have put 180. We have shown less amount. Because of that, what happened to our profit after reducing the cost of sales from the sales? Our profit has reduced by 180. So scenario, in the actual scenario, our profit is 360, but because of the mistake, we have got the profit of 180. So therefore the answer is D. Okay, the answer is D. The current year's profit will be understated and the next year's profit will be overstated, because we will have a issue with our closing inventory when we prepare the next year financial statement. Okay, so as per IAS 2, inventory is valued at lower of cost or net realizable value. What is cost? Cost is cost of inventory comprises all cost incurred in bringing the asset to its present location and condition based on the normal level of activity. Okay, net realizable value is estimated selling price in the ordinary course of business less all further cost to complete, less cost incurred in making the sales, less discounts. Okay, the valuation rule above is an application of prudence concept. Okay, prudence is required caution in condition of uncertainty. Okay, so where we expect to make profit from future sales, we value inventory at lower figure. Okay, the results of this is that we do not anticipate a profit in the current periods of accounts. Okay, the profit will be recorded next year when the inventory is actually sold. Okay, where we expect to make a loss from future sales of this year's inventory, NRV is lower than cost, we value inventory at lower figure, which is now NRV. Okay, the results of this is that the loss that will occur next year is brought forward into this year's accounts. Okay, that's what they call it as a prudence. Okay, prudence concept. Okay, the example is at I would say 2017, and say 2017. Okay, so at 30th June 2017, Brain's inventory was valued at it cost of 42,800. This includes item costing 11,100 which have been superseded by an updated design. So one special component is there inside that is price has been updated. Okay, that price of that item is 11,100. Brain will be able to sell these items through an agent for 12,000. So this 11,100 item can be sold for 12,000. The agent's commission will be 10% of the selling price. So we have to know the total price of the whole the full item, which is 42,800, out of which we have to remove that updated design, which is 11,100. So the net value, we know the net value is 31,700, and what we have to do is we have to add this net value, because that that updated design, the additional, which is whatever the thing is splitted, that part can be sold to 12,000. So there is a not realizable value part is there. So we have to see we have to compare the net realizable value of that product with the cost is 11,100. So I have done the working here. Cost is 11,100. NRV is 12,000, and we have to give a 10% of the selling price as a commission to sell. So we have to reduce that as per the NRV, which I have given you the formula. So net realizable value is 10,800. So as per IAS 2, the inventory is valued at lower of cost or net realizable value. Our cost is 11,100. Our net realizable value is 10,800. So this cost of this part is, we have to take it as a 10,800 because it has to be the lower of cost or net realizable value. Cost is 11,100. Net realizable value is 10,800. So 10,800 is less than 11,100, right? So we have to take the 10,800. Okay, so the answer is 42,100 or 42,500. Okay, good. Hope you have understood.